So now that the boot floor's arrived and I've ordered the stereo system from Autobarn, it's time to crack on with the rest of the metalwork in this job and get her up to the next stage, which is bodywork. So I've cut the boot floor out of the VK, and it was pretty handy having it on the hoist because I was able to lift it up and down when I needed to, which made it a little bit better to actually deal with. It's a pretty dirty, messy job, but it's cleaned up pretty nicely. We've got rid of all the rust. We've got the well-true primer onto all the bits that are going to be sandwiched back together between the new boot floor, and we're ready to get the boot floor in. It's already been trial fitted. Just going to pop it back into place, start welding. Boot floor with the primer on, ready to go. It did need a bit of work along the back edge, bit of hammer and dolly work to really get the shape to where we needed to be, but it's good to go now. Well timed. So we're just at the hopefully final few bits of metalwork on this car. See at the bottoms of the guards where they were sitting pretty tight up to the end of the sill. There was a bit of sealer back there originally, and I think it obviously held a bit of moisture and some muck and dirt. It's rotted through, so I cut this section out, fold up a new one, get it welded in, and hopefully that's the end of it. So we've got this bit out. You see on the outside, it didn't actually look like it was all that bad. It only looks like a little tiny hole, but as is always the case with rust, it's sprayed all over the inside. So there wouldn't be much left of that if you actually tried to clean it up and just do the hole. So much better to cut the whole piece out, make up a new one, go again. So I've just knocked up this little piece. Pretty happy with how it's fitting. Just get that tacked in there, be as good as new. So these are the little things that you don't want to happen. As I'm sort of tacking this in place, it's moved ever so slightly, and it's actually sitting about a millimetre out beyond where it needs to be. So luckily I've only just tacked it in. I'll break one of these tack welds now, push it back, and then go at it again. Favourite tool in the workshop. I think I've had this for 20 years, and it's like the most perfect weapon in the world. It can do a lot of damage with a good panel hammer. An essential for anybody restoring cars at home. Got that back down to where it needs to be now, so I'll just go ahead and continue on with the tacking. Now I'm happy with it. Nice and level, the way it's meant to be. A few last little love taps with my favourite hammer, and we'll be good to go on with the rest of the prep. Well, I've been finishing off the metal work. The boys have been hard at it, stripping back the hang-on panels. You know, we've decided to paint strip them, and for a very good reason. These doors are actually in really good nick. Apart from a couple of little shopping trolley dents and a couple of little ripples, the doors are actually in really good nick. There's no rust in them, they're pretty straight. So I didn't want to risk sending them off to get them blasted and then too much pressure from the blaster. doors, panels come back warped. It's happened before, it happens all the time, no matter how careful they say they're going to be. So that being said, I thought we'll just go to the effort of stripping them back ourselves, get them all cleaned up, get them into epoxy and get ready for the next stage. So with all the paint stripping done on these panels, it's time to get them buzzed back with good old 80 grit, remove the last remnants of any paint that's left behind and give them a really good clean, get them into the oven. There's a lot of sanding to be done, so get stuck in. So the cowl panel's finally in. You know, when we took this one apart, it was pretty rusty. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be that bad. I expected maybe a little bit, but not that bad. Now, all the rusty areas have been chopped out and repaired. We did use a replacement panel for this one. However, these things never fit. Like, and this one was at least this far off. So it had to be run through the bead roller several times. We had to beat it around with the hammer. We had to cut some bits off. We had to slice some areas and lift them up because they were too low and knock some back. So overall, it's looking good now, but it was a lot of work to get there. These panels don't just get bought off the shelf and drop straight in. You gotta know how to fit them. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out. When this beaver panel first came off, the inner and the outer, there was lots of rust all the way through. However, we managed to save it. We really had no choice because we couldn't get one. We managed to save it, fabricate up a heap of sections for it, get it all pieced together. Now it's ready to go back in and lock it away. So that's it, metalwork's locked away, finally, after endless amounts of little problems that we didn't see coming, but that's restoration for you. What you think is going to take a week often takes 3, but you just got to fix the rust, get it out of there, metalwork what you have to before you can move on to bodywork. All going well, bodywork's going to be a lot more easy and straightforward, but in case you'll have to tune in to find out.